Chidi, the car of the boss that was supposed to be conveying your food from the city to the village just broke down on the road. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chidi. I'm a lifestyle vlogger. I make videos about my lifestyle, motherhood, and some bits of medical school. So if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you stick around for long. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. So today's video is going to be a story of what happened like years back, and I thought about it like a few days back when I was having a chat with my friend. So I was like, yeah, I think that would make for a good YouTube video. Basically guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click on that subscribe button right now, and then we can dive in straight to the story. Wow, so guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, and if you already know, that I'm a Nigerian. So I was born in Nigeria and I moved to the UK at some point in my life, and and then at some point, and when I wanted to get married, so this story basically is about how my traditional wedding in Nigeria was like an absolute disaster. Like guys, I can't even believe actually have a smile on my face, and I can't even believe I'm actually laughing thinking about the story and recounting the story to you guys, because back then it wasn't like funny. It wasn't really funny what happened back then. So guys, so as Nigerians, we do different ceremonies around the time you're getting married. So we've got what we call a traditional wedding. So in a traditional wedding, let's say it's like a sort of like wedding where you perform all the traditional rites before you take the bride from the family. So we've got that one, and we've got the church wedding. Depending on what sort of church you go to, then you'll do a separate one as well. So we had the church wedding as well. So guys, I'm just going to talk to you guys about my traditional wedding back in Nigeria. So I was here, my traditional wedding was back in 2016, so it was December of 2016 in Nigeria. So I was here just I think I recently started medical school then, so that's when we decided to get married. So we decided to do the traditional wedding back in the village. So for traditional weddings, we usually do it back in the villages in Nigeria. So for that traditional wedding, I was planning the whole thing from the UK here, which in itself was very challenging, planning the whole wedding from a different country, which is different from where the wedding was going to take place. So I was having to organize everything over the phone, online, and it was very challenging. So I had this vision about my traditional wedding. I wanted to have a really interesting one. I wanted to have a lot of people come, and yeah, I just wanted to this fun traditional wedding I see online. I'm like, yeah, that is the vibe I'm definitely going for. I should be, I had this whole thing in mind. Well guys, when it came to actually implementing it, that's when it went wrong. So and the period I chose to have my wedding was in December. So let's say around that Christmas week, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I think my traditional wedding was scheduled to happen on the 29th of December 2016. So, and around that time is usually very busy in Nigeria, guys. If you've been to Nigeria for a holiday during that Christmas period, you know how crazy it is, proper crazy. There's loads of people, there's traffic, there's a lot of events going on. So a lot of events like weddings, christenings, there's so much going on around that period. So it's usually very crazy. So that was around the time I fixed my wedding, because that was the time I got the opportunity to travel back to Nigeria, because around the Christmas time was was a vacation for me, because I wasn't a full-time student then. So that was just the best time for me to have to be able to do a wedding back in Nigeria. So guys, I traveled to Nigeria I think a few days before my wedding, because I think we vacated probably on the 18th or 19th. I can't remember correctly, but I think around that time. So I went to Nigeria a few days before my wedding, and ready for everything to start happening. So, and the whole thing started to go bad. Let's say a few days before the wedding, I, tried on my my outfit. Guys, traditional wedding, the bride has to look really cool. The bride has to look stunning. So, and it it fully depends on your outfit, like what you're wearing, your your outfit, your footwear, your hair. So that's what actually brings out that beauty. So guys, but things started to fall apart for me from my outfit, because so I sent in my measurements to the tailor. Remember guys, so the tailor didn't see me physically, so I sent in my previous measurements to the tailor. So, and guys, actually what happened, because few months before my wedding date, I was in Nigeria then for a holiday. So my tailor already, so she had my measurements there, because she was able to take physical measurements of me then. So she used the same measurements to sew this outfit for me for my traditional wedding. And lo and behold, I've lost so much weight, and we didn't even realize that I've lost so much weight. So obviously it wasn't gonna be the same fitting. So guys, when I returned to Nigeria, the tailor had already sewn this outfit, and on the trial day, guys, I was looking hideous, like so the outfit was just too big for me, and I was looking hideous and stuff. But and during that wedding period, the tailor was like, oh my god, I haven't got the time to adjust it. And I was like, it's fine, I'm just gonna use it the way it is. So that was like, that's when things started falling apart. Then I think I had 2 outfits for my traditional wedding. That was the first outfit. The second outfit, I'm gonna insert it somewhere here. So that was the red outfit. Then I had the second outfit as well, because I wasn't in Nigeria. So my husband and my mom, they had to go to the market to buy me something for me to wear, and my mom, obviously, she's not the best one when it comes to fashion and stuff, and my husband as well is not really the best one to trust when it comes to fashion. So guys, I just had to trust their judgment, because I was far away in the UK, so I can't be choosing, and I didn't just have the chance to make choices and stuff, so I just left it for them. So when they bought me the outfit, I only saw, I was able to try it on after I arrived in Nigeria. So I tried on the outfit, and it was I don't really like it, but because I spent a lot of money, so I just have to go with the flow. So guys, so that was the first one. So fast forward to the traditional wedding day. So we were all getting ready, everything was just going smoothly, just a few hiccups along the way, and I didn't really think too much about it. So on that wedding day, so we're somewhere in the city. So we live somewhere in the city, but we've got houses in the village as well. If you're in Nigeria, you understand where I'm coming from, where we you have 2 houses, one in the city and one in the village. So on that morning, we wanted to travel to the village, so we decided to a few weeks before the traditional wedding, we decided we were going to cook in my house in the city. So normally people do go back to the village few days before then, and they tend to do everything from the village house, cooking, preparation, everything. But in my own case, I know it's weird. So in my own case, me and my mom, we made the executive decision to do all the preparations from my home in the city, because I think it's where we actually know people. We know a lot of people from the city there, and we have a lot of neighbors. My mom had friends around, so she felt it was going to be easier for her friends to come over to my house in the city and do all the cooking. So that was the decision we made. So on that, and also on that morning, we decided to travel back to the village. I know it's just very unconventional, because people usually would go to the village few days before them. The bride and the mom will go to the village and prepare for the suitor to come for the wedding. But we did our one differently, in the sense that we actually traveled to the village that morning I was wedding. So let's say I was wedding on the 29th of December 2016, and we decided to travel on the same day in the morning to the village to get married. And so in that morning, it started with our car developing a fault. So the car that was supposed to convey us from my house in the city to the village just developed some faults in the morning, and we just had to wait for it to get repaired. And guys, a few days before that, they were we've been using the same car, we've never really had any issues, or there was nothing untoward regarding the car or anything. So it was just a bit shocking, when on the morning that we were supposed to travel to the village, that's when the car developed issues and faults. So my cousin took the car to the mechanic to get it fixed, and that wasted a bit of time. So we were supposed to leave very early in the morning. That was the plan, 6-7, because the food was ready, everything was ready. So we were supposed to start traveling to the village very early in the morning to get the village house ready in time for the guests to arrive. But because the car developed some fault, so that actually delayed us, and we had to wait for the car to get repaired. So, and that took some time. I probably took 2 or 3 hours for the car to get repaired. So so after the car got repaired, it was getting to 11 a.m. 12 midday. So we were still in town. Remember, it was my wedding day and I was still in town. I wasn't at the venue, if that makes sense. So it was my wedding day and I was still not at the venue. And my guest was supposed to start arriving, like, say, from like 1 p.m. So at 11, 12, I was still somewhere else. That's not the venue. So when the car eventually arrived, I was like, oh, thank God, finally, you can eventually start, going back to the village. So we all got into the car, me and some of my friends, my dad. So we eventually got into the car and then, drove to the village. So when we got to the village, so before that, like, how traditional wedding goes now. So you need to have arranged your canopies, your food, your drinks, everything. So we did arrange for canopies. So one of my relatives, was placed in charge of, arranging for canopies. So when I got to the village, and canopies is one of the first things that should have arrived, on the day of the wedding. It's usually the first things that should have arrived on the day of the wedding, so the decorator could come and, decorate the whole canopy and stuff. So when we got to the village around 11, 12 guys, that's when I realized the canopy wasn't even there yet. So I was like, what's going on? Like, when I first arrived, I didn't really think too much about it. I'm like, oh, maybe it's on the way. I was like, okay, don't worry, it's gonna be here anytime soon anyway. You don't need to worry about that. But guys, the problem was, like, the decor lady was already there, and she can't actually start walking until the canopies and the chairs have arrived. So the canopies and chairs should have arrived so before they decorate her, so she's able to, like, do her work. But when she arrived, the canopies were not there, the chairs were not there, no tables, so she couldn't even, like, start doing anything. So she was just sitting around and just wasting her time, and she was just there. I was like, where are the chairs, where are the canopies? I can't even do anything. And guys, I was just confused at that point. I'm like, what do I do? And I started ringing around. I'm like, what's going on with the canopy? So, I was reassured, don't worry, the canopy is on the way. The chairs and the tables, they're making their way to you. You don't have to worry about that. It's just on your way to you. So I believed it and just, carried on with my, makeup and stuff. So, guys, can you believe it? Around 2 p.m., so 2 hours later, the canopy was still not there, the chairs were not there, the tables were not there, and the decor lady was there, and my guests had started arriving, and there were no chairs, no tables, no canopy. So, and obviously, like, I started getting very worried and stuff. Like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? No chairs, no tables, no canopies. And then people are trying to, like, calm me down. Like, don't worry, it's on the way. And someone that was, like, entrusted with that task, it was like, when I'll ring them the phone, like, oh, don't worry, it's on the way. Guys, 3 p.m., no canopy, no chairs, no tables. At that time, most of my guests have arrived and there was nothing, nowhere to sit on. Like, my guests were, like, just loitering around because there were no chairs. Guys, I was like speechless. I didn't even know what to do, and I was even surprised at that point because I'm someone that usually cries. I cry very easily. I easily cry, but on that day, yeah, the shock I was feeling, yeah, I couldn't even cry because I was so shocked that I could not cry because I'm like, what else? So anyway, so I wanted to, like, carry on. So when we saw that the canopy, that the arrangement we made with the other person wasn't, like, going to work, that's why we started seeking for alternative arrangements. So it was that around 3 p.m. that we had to arrange with someone else to go hire the canopy for us. So the person had to make an alternative arrangement, like ASAP, to hire out canopies, chairs, and tables just around 2 p.m. Guys, can you believe this? That my canopies and chairs and tables was actually arranged 2 to 3 p.m. on the same day I was wedding. That was how bad it was. So I'm not sure what happened with the previous arrangement. I'm not even sure if the person actually arranged for anything, because the way it's seeming now, I don't even understand what happened. I don't even understand if it was disappointed. I don't even understand if he actually forgot to actually arrange for canopies, chairs, and tables. Guys, up to now, I can't even tell you exactly what happened. But I'm just putting out there that the canopies, the chairs, and tables never arrived. So, and then we had to make, alternative arrangements, and then after an hour, it started arriving. So I think my canopies, chairs, and tables eventually got to the venue around 3 to 4 p.m. and that was when my guests were already there and there was nowhere to sit. And guys, my decorator has been waiting since morning and there was nothing there. So, and then she started trying her best to do what she can do at that point. So again, guys, so remember I told you guys that we did all the cooking back in the city? Yeah. So they were supposed to convert the food from the city to the village on the same day. So as my makeup, my makeup was going on, like the makeup girl was just doing my makeup and stuff. That was when I, that's when I got the call. I think someone came to me and said to me, "Oh, Chidi, the car of the boss I was supposed to be conveying your food from the city to the village just broke down on the road." I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? What is going on? I started getting like really panicky, I started getting really panicky, like, shocked, tired, speechless. I didn't even know, like, I can't even describe my emotions. Like, the way I was feeling that day, I felt like everything was going down, down, down. Like, nothing was working out for me. Like, not even one thing. I couldn't even hold on to one thing for me on that day that I could even look forward to. Nothing was working. My canopies and chairs arrived late. My guests were loitering about, nothing. And then the food and the drinks. So we bought the drinks back in the city. So the drinks and the food, the bus that was conveying them, that broke down. Like, like, I couldn't even understand I couldn't fathom what was going on. I'm like, what is going on? So, I was just there. I was like thinking, like, to be honest, I didn't know what was going on. So I just continued my makeup. So at that point, like, we also hired a DJ and a music people from the city as well. So, at that time they arrived and the music was, playing in the background. At least, was just making the whole atmosphere a bit like, nice and a bit, vibey. So at that point in time, I was like, okay, the music is actually at least playing. The music is actually there in the background playing. And guys, 30 minutes later, the music set stopped. I'm like, I didn't do too much about it. And then before someone came to me and said to me, oh my god, like, you don't know what's going on with the music set, like, they've got problems with the equipment. So the music is no longer playing and it cannot be rectified. No, at some point, no, you know what, like, they told me that and they said to me, oh, don't worry, the DJ is going to get one or few things and it's going to work. They just need to, like, fix one or two things. Don't worry about it, it will work. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then 1 hour, 2 hours, the music was still not playing. And I started feeling even more tense because everywhere was dry, no music, no food, no drinks. Like, God, guys, it was a disaster. It was actually a disaster. If anybody told me that was going to happen on a traditional wedding day, I would never have believed. Like, it's okay to have, like, 1 or 2 hiccups, but not when everything is, like, going down. No food, no drinks, no music, no canopies and chairs arriving late. So everything for me on that day just went wrong. Nothing went okay for me. Like, every aspect of the traditional wedding was a disaster. So when the DJ returned from town, I think he went to pick one or few things to repair the musical set. And then when he returned and then the music was still not playing, I couldn't hear the music. And then I was now getting very worried. I was asking people around me, like, what's going on? Why can't I hear the music? What's going on? And then that's when they eventually came and said to me, oh, like, the DJ will be going back to the city because the equipment has developed a fault and it cannot be repaired. Oh my god, at that point, I was so tired. I was dejected. I didn't even know how to feel. I'm like, what is actually going on? Like, nothing is working out for me on my traditional wedding day. I've invited a lot of guests. I was hoping for them to, like, have fun, enjoy the day. But it just seemed like everything was just going haywire. Like, nothing worked out for me. Like, everything was a complete disaster. The wedding was a complete disaster. And then there were no drinks. My guests were thirsty, they were hungry, and because my village is like in a remote area, there were no shops around. They could easily, like, pop into and get something to eat and drink, if you get my point. So there was nothing like that. So they were, everyone completely dependent on the food, the drink and stuff. But that was, like, stuck on the road somewhere because the car broke down. So there was no food, there was no drinks. My guests were getting irritated, and I could see the irritation on their faces, the hurt on their faces, the disappointment. And so I was really, I didn't even know what to do. So it got to the point where I was supposed to, like, dancing into the the venue of the area where where the traditional wedding was supposed to be going on. So I was supposed to, like, dance into it. So because there was no music, and, the music is just the life of the party, and there was no music, and I was supposed to dance in and start my traditional wedding, and so it was that point because the music was not playing, and then, shout out to my aunties. So my aunties, they started, like, clapping, actually, like, clapping for me. They were like, Imela, oh, Imela, oh, Imela, oh. And that was how I danced into my traditional wedding venue with my strabi. Like, my aunties clapping for me. Guys, it was bad. So that's what eventually happened. Like they actually had to like clap and stuff, and then like dances in traditional wedding stuff. And guys, it was the most hideous and the most hilarious thing ever to happen. So guys, go, I don't know, but you know what? Like thinking back to it, I think like I'm not even sure how I was resilient. I'm not sure how I was able to like go through that situation, and I was so strong. I don't even know where the strength came from. I'm not sure. I couldn't even tell you guys where the strength came from. I'm not someone that is usually that resilient, but on that day I'm not sure. So I'm definitely it's definitely God's factor, because I did not break down. I'm not sure what happened, but it did not break me down. I still had smiles on my face. I'm not even sure how. So I was just strong in that situation, and I just carried on. And so yeah, so that was it, guys. And then the drinks and the food, they eventually came. The people were like tired and hungry and tasty, so nothing worked out for me. Like things were moving mad in different directions, like. So guys, so that's what eventually happened. And at the end of the day, we just had the wedding, so I felt really bad. I think I had PTSD. So I remember the night after the traditional wedding, I just woke up in the night like sweating, like I was panicking. So I definitely had the PTSD after that. But at the end of the day, like we got married, regardless of the situation, regardless of it not going the way we planned. We still got married, we got our blessing, and and yes. So at the end of the day, those things are just like additional things. They're just extra things. The marriage is always between the couple, but at the same time you also want to like entertain your guests. But in my case, it didn't happen the way I planned. But guys, so that was just my story. I can't believe I'm recounting this story now with all smiles on my face, because guys, I tell you, on that day it wasn't funny. It was a stress-inducing situation. And guys, but yes, I was able to like go through it now, and I'm actually like recounting the story like 5 years later. So guys, yeah, so that was it. So that was how mad it was. So guys, I'm just here to tell you, whatever situation you're going through, whatever thing you're going through is going to eventually pass. Like the ship will eventually sail, and you'll get yourself back. So I don't think anything is worth like killing yourself over. So nothing is worth dying for. In that present, and like when you're presently feeling the situation, you feel like, oh my god, it feels like something you can't like go through. You feel like you can't cope. It feels like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But guys, time is the healer of all things, and eventually it will still pass. So guys, if you enjoyed my story today, why not give me a like and comment? Tell me how your traditional wedding went. Was it what you expected? Did everything go to plan? Did you have any hiccups along the way? Just let me know. And yes, let's just share our stories in the comment section. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.